Currently, the country of Uganda faces many major issues that keep the majority of their citizens with a low standard of living. As a result of poor educational structure, low quality of health, extreme gender inequality, environmental issues, and inhibiting trade barriers, Uganda remains one of the least developed countries in the world. However, with a shift in many of their deeply ingrained ways of life, the quality of life for many Ugandans may be greatly improved. Through this video, we hope to walk you through the basic means of developing, both on a micro and macro scale, the state of a country in deep-set poverty.
In Uganda, the universal primary education policy implements free education. This causes a shift in the equilibrium balance with a huge enrollment and a deficiency of teachers. 40% of the public school classes do not have a teacher in the classroom. Free enrollment signifies a lack of funds, resulting in few and insufficient facilities. The schools must therefore require the families to pay for things such as school books, but many are unable to afford them. The lack of facilities influences a poor education, which significantly impairs the ability for one to find a well-paying job. Other results of the lack of funds include no electricity in the schools and an inability to pay faculty on time.
Healthcare throughout Uganda is extremely underfunded and variable in the quality of treatment. Furthermore, these treatments are extremely expensive and not covered by the government. With 1/4 of the population under the poverty line, few can afford them, and as a result, many rely on unsafe or ineffective traditional medicine. Water safety poses a large risk for many Ugandans, as most bodies of water are polluted with infectious diseases, including cholera, malaria, and other respiratory illnesses that result in serious injury or death. Furthermore, AIDS has left a massive impact on Ugandan communities, it has caused many deaths, but also huge quantities of orphans with no one to care for them. As a result, they must go to their relatives, who then provide them with a less adequate care, resources, and education. This in turn prevents them from improving their standard of living.
The Ugandan agriculture has expanded in an uncontrolled manner, and their farmlands have faced severe degradation. In addition to these factors, deforestation of their environment has occurred, leading to a decrease in water availability and overgrazing of healthy areas. As the state of the environment and soil declines, many farmers become unemployed. Low soil fertility makes it difficult for the farmers to produce food sufficiently, causing an unemployment increase and an income decline. Unfortunately, Uganda is majorly impacted by their agriculture, with 80% of the population employed by the industry. This reliance has become damaging to the country's economy, causing other industries to be less developed, which results in a lower standard of living.
Throughout the country, many women face low social status and a severe lack of economic self-sufficiency. Because of intense gender inequality, women are less likely to receive an education. As a result, they are unable to receive well-paying jobs. Furthermore, because they are often seen as the caretakers, they must spend the majority of their time at home rather than working. Due to this, they become increasingly dependent upon their husbands. Furthermore, many women are forced into prostitution in order to provide for their families. As a result, HIV in girls ages 13 to 18 is 10 times more prevalent than in boys the same age. This leads to further social segregation, preventing them from attending school or getting a respectable job. These issues can be combated through providing girls with educational opportunities, job skills, health care, including maternal care, and microfinance. Each of these helps women gain dignity and a higher social status. Furthermore, they receive opportunities for economic independence.
Trade is another of Uganda's major developmental issues. 42% of their exports are agricultural, making agriculture a majority. The Ugandan infrastructure is insufficient, which limits their ability to travel, trade, communicate, attend school, and receive health care. There is no access to waterways, which prohibits direct trade overseas, forcing Ugandans to turn to more expensive alternatives. The country also enforces import licensing, a withholding tax, and an internal tax. These high tariffs promote the localization of products, yet demote international trade by making their tradables expensive for foreigners.
Because many of the issues threatening Uganda are interconnected, simple adjustments to develop one area drastically improve others as well. For example, increasing teacher pay and its timeliness encourages increased attention to students and therefore meets the growing demand for education. A more educated workforce allows for innovation and entrepreneurship, shifting jobs from agriculture into more skilled sectors. This, in effect, improves the country's trade, allowing for a greater per capita GDP and therefore an increased standard of living. Furthermore, education can prevent the spread of HIV and AIDS while training better doctors and nurses to meet the needs of Ugandan citizens. Simple changes such as these result in a multiplier effect, creating remarkable change and development to benefit the entire nation. A similar program called the Madrasa Resource Center was implemented in Mombasa, Kenya in 1986. It focused on providing children with a holistic education, including job skills. It has helped poor communities to establish, manage, and support schools throughout the country so that local leaders can sustainably implement new policies. The program provides continuous on-site support, engages actively in the government to help create policies regarding Kenya's youth. Furthermore, the MRC has linked communities to finance centers to provide graduates with microfinance opportunities. Since its foundation, the program has trained over 1,000 teachers and managers and benefited over 8,000 students. Because Kenya and Uganda face similar developmental issues, we believe that this model can effectively improve education within Uganda and, in effect, improve standard of living throughout the country.